Thank you, guys. Following up Mikey Z, I'm not really even sure where to go from that. Everything he said is dead on in terms of the sheer exploitation that exists in our food industry, from huge factory farms that exploit animals and human labor to people that are trying to feed their kids a healthy lunch and end up feeding them cancer-causing chemicals. I'm here to talk to you about community. I'm here to talk to you about one of the solutions to this problem. You see, we all live here in New York City, and I'm willing to bet most of you here struggle to pay the bills, struggle to pay the rent, struggle to pay for groceries for your family or heating oil for your kids to stay warm, and we're all in the same boat together. You see, we all struggle every single day to make ends meet. We struggle by taking on 2 jobs or 3 jobs. We struggle by not having time to spend with our kids or our neighbors or our family. We don't get to pay attention to the elderly couple down the road that needs a helping hand, or the child that could really use some after-school help. We're distracted. You see, the whole world that we live in is based on this struggle. In this city, 1/5 of you will go to bed hungry tonight. 1/8 of you will go to bed without a bed to sleep in. You'll be sleeping on the street. You only have to go a block or 2 down to see folks that are going to be sleeping on the street tonight. And yet every single day, we're taught to just watch out for ourselves, watch out for our own, watch out for our families. We don't watch out for each other. And so what we do is we remain blind to all the bad things that are going on around us. We eat poison food, we drink poison water, we work poisonous jobs, and we struggle because we're just trying to take care of our own. And it's only until that we realize that we're a community of others that we can conquer these problems. Every single day with Food Not Bombs, we collect food that would normally end up in the trash. This is perfectly good food, bananas with a little speck on them, or day-old bread, things that you would have no problem purchasing from this Whole Foods right over here, but they'll throw it out anyway. And we rescue just a very small portion of it, and we're able to feed thousands of people every single day. I do not exaggerate this number. I welcome you all to join to our food shares and see what we do on a daily basis to see what's possible. But I mention this not to get off topic, because we're all here to talk about GMOs and Monsanto and the poisoning of our food. I mention this to talk about a solution to the problem. You see, one of the reasons why we're pushed with GMO foods, and one of the reasons why you hear all these politicians talking about, well, this golden rice that Monsanto makes will feed people in Africa, will feed the starving children. It's an excuse for a product that no one really wants. They say there's not enough for everybody, so we need to make a new product for everybody. But when you look at all the stores that throw out food, when you look at the farmers that are paid by our government to burn crops so they don't end up on the market, you have to wonder, why are we destroying food when there's hungry people? The same can be true in any industry. In housing, there's actually 1 million vacant homes in New York City, and yet there's millions of people that don't have a bed to sleep in. Across the country, there are so many people that have no access to health care and a good educational system, yet we have the resources to provide these things. We choose not to, and yet we all struggle. We struggle to take care of our own, and we don't pay attention to those around us because we're focused on what we need to do to survive. And that's exactly what Monsanto wants. That's exactly what Nestle wants. That's exactly what GM and Lockheed Martin and every single corporation that's taking advantage of you wants. They don't want you to unify. The most radical thing you can do in our society is stop by that person that's sleeping on the street tonight, and don't just give him $1, have a conversation with him. Offer him into your home, make him a meal. That elderly couple that has trouble shoveling the snow, offer to help them out. Build relationships, build community. Because if you're by yourself, you're never going to change anything. And this is a wonderful thing that we're all gathered here together, thousands of friends and family and members of this awesome community right here. But when we leave, we have to grow this community. We have to educate people that aren't us, that don't look like us, that don't speak like us, that we might be a little bit afraid of, or we might feel alienated from. Because every single day that we stay divided, they win. Now, I ask you to take one small step. to change this system. I ask you to befriend somebody that you don't know, to make a connection in your community that will benefit others. If it's walking down the street and seeing an empty lot and transforming it into a garden with your neighbors, or if it's starting your own food share and collecting food that would be thrown out and helping to share it with folks in need, I ask you to do something to change this system. Because there's amazing folks that'll be up after me talking about the facts about Monsanto and GMOs and all the poison that they're giving you in their food. But change is going to be a slow, gradual process. And without you actively participating in that change, no petition, no protest, no sign will have anyone listen to you. It's radical community power that's going to change things. So I ask you, don't ask permission. Don't ask permission to build that community garden. Don't ask permission to start sharing food in your neighbors. Do it. And so please, just follow that message. Just get it done. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, John.
But these aren't ordinary circumstances, because we're going up against some very powerful corporate interests, including one of the most nefarious corporations in the world, Monsanto. Monsanto's wealth and domination of our food system provides a daunting influence in our politics and policy. But Food and Water Watch is all about building the power to take on corporate interests and win. Food and Water Watch is helping build a movement in New York and across the country for a fair and sustainable food system. Thanks to the power of this movement, we've managed to keep Walmart out of New York City. And we've kept the fracking rigs at bay for the moment. And we're taking on Monsanto to allow consumers the right to know what's in this food. We've had some amazing victories thus far in this effort. Several weeks ago, the GMO labeling bill was approved by the Assembly's Consumer Protection Committee. And believe me, that was no easy undertaking. Every step of the way, we were up against corporate lobbyists with their deceptive arguments. We had to organize rallies, mobilize phone calls, and pile on the pressure from constituents to get the